Tax filing day may still be months away, but the time is starting to run out if you've bought, sold, traded, earned, lost, or were gifted crypto this year.
Have to take action, because as midnight to December 31st light strikes, you can't do anything again but this year. There is no go back in January to the prior year.
Here are 5 most commonly asked questions about crypto and taxes answered. How does the Internal Revenue Service, better known as the IRS, even know you own crypto? Tax experts point out 3 common ways the federal agency keeps track.
One, on all American taxpayers' tax returns now, there is a question that asks, did you trade, sell any digital currency? Every taxpayer has to answer that under penalty of perjury. And so that is kind of the first line of defense that the IRS uses.
Also, they've been filing, the IRS that is, a host of Jane Doe summonses with a lot of the crypto brokers. So they go to the brokerage houses with an open-ended summons that says, give me your top 20,000 or 2,000, active clients. And that was pushed back a great deal by a couple of the broker houses, but in court they lost. So they had to turn over the list to the IRS of some of their biggest customers just in the last couple of years.
Earlier this summer, the IRS served a John Doe summons on crypto prime dealer SFox to hunt for potential tax evaders using the company's services. They've previously served such summons on companies like Kraken and Circle to confirm whether the firm's customers are properly reporting their taxes. And starting in 2023, the IRS is stepping up its game.
But starting on January 1st, 2023, all broker-dealers of a material level will have to report to the IRS and to their customers their transactions during the year. So the IRS will have a crystal clear picture starting next tax year of what your virtual currency activity is. If it's not on your tax return, trust me, like if you leave off a W-2 or interest or dividends or other stuff, the IRS will come and ask you about it, and probably with a charge for taxes, perhaps some interest, and for certainly penalty.
How much do you have to pay in crypto taxes?
So the actual percentage that you're going to pay on your cryptocurrency gains or your cryptocurrency income actually completely ties to your total income, including kind of all sources of income. So let's say, you make over $100,000 from your W-2 job, and an additional $20,000, let's say, in capital gains from your cryptocurrency activity, then you're going to be marginally taxed at that bracket. It's like 25%. But if you only made $30,000 in total for the year, you're going to pay a lower percentage from your crypto related income.
Can you write off a crypto loss?
Absolutely, you can write it off. You can write it off in 2 different ways. If you've got long-term losses, an asset held more than a year, you can offset those dollar for dollar against similar long-term gains. Same for short-term losses and short-term gains. Now, the bad news is all gains are taxable. Unfortunately, all losses are not deductible. You can offset them, as I say, and you can deduct up to $3,000 against regular income. But the point is simply this: if you have losses, that's an important asset that you can use several ways, both in the current tax year and going forward, because those losses don't expire. You can use them in the future to offset gains, or you can deduct $3,000 a year in perpetuity till you use them all.
How are crypto gifts taxed?
Gifts are great, other than they're very confusing for many people, and they work a lot like stock gifts or bond gifts or gifts of any capital asset. When you receive a gift, say your aunt has gotten virtual currency and she's starting to get a little older, so she gives you $10,000 of your favorite virtual currency. Well, the good news is it's not taxable. Gifts are not taxable upon the transference from the owner to the new gift recipient. And that's always been the case. People can give you cash, they can give you stocks, they can give you bonds. It's not taxable to you when it's gifted.
Gifts up to $16,000 per single recipient are tax-free in the 2022 year. That limit will be lifted to $17,000 in 2023. How are earnings from mining crypto taxed?
If I'm running a Bitcoin mining rig, and just for simplicity's sake, let's say I earn 1 Bitcoin on June 21st, at 12 p.m. What's happening is I'm realizing income at the fair market value of Bitcoin when it hit my wallet, right? When I received that payout. So if 1 Bitcoin, let's say, was worth $50,000 back in June, I would have just realized $50,000 of income that needs to be reported on my taxes. And again, depending on my personal tax bracket for the year, I'll owe a certain percentage of tax on that $50,000 of income.
You can find more detailed tax bracket breakdowns, how to benefit from tax loss harvesting, and more on CoinDesk.com.